Hello, guys. Welcome back. You know, someone humorously said that if there is 24 hours in a day, then 23 of those hours should be spent fearing the species called woman. Now, before you go like, what in the world? What is she talking about? Wait until you hear our letter from the heart of today. You will not believe your ears. But before we get into it, let's review what happened this week under the spotlight. Welcome back. My name is Michelle D. I'm your host today, and my co-host will be joining in a moment. So this week started very sad for me. Africa, the nation of Senegal, has lost an icon, a superstar, an African queen, Halima Gadji. And I was like, when I learned the news on Monday, I was like, what are the odds? Because last week I mentioned that TV hit here during our show. I spoke about the fact that the married men in that series called The Mistress of a Married Man. In French is La Maîtresse d'un homme marié. And I was just discussing how interesting the character of the married man is in season 1. And what are the odds that the next day I woke up to the news that the principal actress of that sitcom has passed? So I wanted to take a moment here to extend my condolences to her family, to the nation of Senegal, and to the African cinema as a whole. It's never easy to lose a loved one. It's hard. It is sad. But this gives us to think, though, to ask ourselves that important question. Where are we heading to? There is this song by Big Daddy Wave that says, if you transition tonight, where would you go? So this gives us to think. This gives me to think, to ask myself that important question. And also you as well, this important question. Where would I go? Where would you go if today was the day? Because like the Bible says, no one knows the time, neither the hour. But one thing for sure is that that time is coming. So if all your actions, your thoughts, your belief system are not leading you to where you would like to end, ultimately, this gives you the time, because you're still here, I'm still here, the time to reconsider, the time to reset, the time to recalibrate the path that you're taking. So once more, I want to extend my condolences to the family of Halima Gadji. Welcome back, guys. My name is Michelle D. For those who are new to this channel, please, if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. So like I was telling you earlier, we have a crazy letter for you. The kind of letter that I promise you that you never heard such a thing. Like we like to say in French, le toit cache beaucoup de choses, meaning that a lot of things are hidden under the roof. So today we're going to expose one of those things that are happening behind closed doors. But once more, I want us to first review what happened under the spotlight. So we started with that sad note of Halima passing, but now let's move to the brighter side. Let's talk about what happened with our Nigerian actress Tonto Dikeh. She reconciled with her husband after 10 years of public, what I would call nastiness, fight, battles, insult, accusations. After 10 years, they finally reconciled. And she said that we have made peace. Today we are friends. I made a reaction on this. So a reaction video on this. If you have not watched it, go on our channel and watch it. So she said she reconciled with her husband. I'm not going to bore you with all the details because I'm pretty sure that you have seen it. But there's one aspect of her testimonial that I would like for us to take a look at. You know, because when things happen, it's for our correction, it's for our learning, and it's also for our improvement. So I'm going to play like a 30 seconds video for you, and then I will welcome you once more, and then we will dive into it just so that we can draw some lessons. Let's do it.
For me to talk to my son about who his father was. And the truth is, I tell you, before me, you, and God, I have never spoken a word, whether it was a bad word, whether it was a good word, about my son's father to him. I have never spoken about a man or nothing. In fact, he doesn't even know anything. So I sat him down one day and I told him, I said, have you ever wondered where your dad is?
All right, guys. Welcome, CB. I see that Miss Elise is not here. Welcome, Luke. Happy Sunday to you guys.
Happy Sunday, ma'am. Happy new month.
Happy Sunday, ma'am. Happy Sunday.
Hi,
Happy new
everyone.
month, guys. A happy new month. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone is fine. CB, you doing okay? Luke, did you have a good week?
Yeah, we thank God for everything.
Okay, there's an echo, Luke. I don't know why, but we're getting an echo from you. I don't know if you can adjust your mic but what about you, CB? Did you have a good week?
Not exactly, but I'm glad that January is over, for real.
Okay. The Lord
I'm
is your
happy
strength.
to be in
Wow.
February.
Amen. It's my birthday. It's my birthday month, so I'm always excited when January come around. And also, it's the month of love, right? And I was wondering why I am so drawn to the topic of love, and I was like, it's not a coincidence that I was born 5 days before Valentine's. So yeah, we're gonna celebrate, and I am excited for this new month. But CB, I would like for you to tell us a little bit about. I'm pretty sure you watched that reconciliation, that testimonial of from Tonto Dikeh. I would love for you to kind of tell us, like, sum up, like, what's going on, what's happening. Tell us, girl.
Oh, hi, everyone. Hope everyone is doing great. Good evening.
Oh yeah,
So,
welcome to our friends in the comment sections. You are the real star. Thank you for being here. Continue to like. Please share. Thank you.
okay, we're talking about Tonto Dikeh and
Yes.
Churchill.
Yes.
You know, their breakup, or should I call it separation, back then was nasty. With her coming on the internet and saying all sorts of things. In fact, she said so many demeaning words. This is not allegedly, it's right there on the internet. That's why they say be careful what you put out there, because it will come back in the future. It has a way of coming back to you. She said a lot of demeaning and degrading things about her baby daddy, which I feel like no matter what she was feeling, I know she felt betrayed, you know, but putting all that stuff out there on the internet, if she was just saying it to his face and there were no cameras, that's different. Putting all of that on the internet and then coming a decade later to say, oh, I've given my life to Christ, I have made peace with my baby's daddy. It's not just going to go away like that. And you trust people, Nigerians, especially those who felt bad for the guy. They're going to come for you. Some people are even saying that her salvation is not real, that is not genuine. She's just looking for a way to stay relevant in the internet space and stuff like that. So now look at the ripple effect. Tomorrow, someone is going to bully their son and say you that your mother called your father a 2-minute man. You see? That's
Hmm.
why
Hmm.
that's why you shouldn't
Hmm.
speak when you're angry. Be very slow to speak when you're angry, because you just might say words that you cannot take back, and that can destroy a lot of things. So what is going on right now with the testimony and her saying they are going to co-parent peacefully, I wish them the best, and I hope that they can actually achieve that. But hey, we see photos of I don't know if you know his present wife right now, Rosie Mara. She was also, or should I say she's also a Nollywood actress.
Hmm.
But the whole betrayal started when Rosie got too close to Churchill. Rosie, who was once Tonto Dikeh's PA. Are you seeing where the betrayal all started? That was the
Oh,
genesis of the
that
betrayal.
thing
Yes.
hurt.
Yes.
Wow.
And then she also, the whole idea of, I paid for my wedding, I gave my husband money to pay my dowry, I've been
Oh,
sponsoring this marriage, it's been me. Technically her doing literally everything in the
and
marriage.
I want to throw it. I want to throw out there that this is what happened when you buy a man, because the man is supposed to be the provider, not the other way around. It never ends well.
Yes, it's not just buying a man. This is what happens when you don't allow a man to lead, when you don't allow a
Thank
man
you.
to go through the right process. So you're marrying someone and he's telling you he doesn't have finances to pay your dowry, and you think it's wise for you to help him pay your dowry.
Yeah,
How does that
that
make
cries
sense? That kind of
desperation.
man is not going to value you. Yes. It's
Yeah,
screaming, pick me. It's screaming,
yeah,
I'm desperate. You must get
yeah,
married.
yeah.
And that kind of relationship or marriage will be heading for the rock so quickly. Before you can say Jack Robinson, you guys are done even before you start.
Hmm.
And then there's this bitterness and resentment. You guys are saying nasty words to each other. Although Churchill didn't really say much. He didn't really say much negative things or call insults at Tonto. It was all Tonto on the internet saying this, that. Those videos are there. You
Yes.
cannot, they are there. They will be there in the next 100 years. The next
Yeah.
generation will come and see it and they'll be like,
Oh
oh,
my God.
and
And that give us that's a
yeah,
lesson to draw, right? Like be mindful. Don't let your
yeah.
anger lead. Like the Bible says that
Don't be,
anger does not accomplish the will of God.
yes, don't be so quick to turn on the camera because you
Yeah.
want to fight your
Yeah.
partner for doing something wrong to you. How about you just, even if you want to vent, you want to rant, do it offline. At
Yes.
least that way it goes away. But when you do it online with your camera on and you're a public figure, even those are not even public figures, the internet will carry it forever. It's there. So this is a lesson. If you're angry with your partner, how about you think about the children or the child you
Hmm.
have with that person? Like, okay, because of the child, I'm going to control my temper. I'm going to watch my words. I'm going to mind what I say. I would rather say nothing than say words that I cannot take back.
Thank you, CB. Thank you for summing up that for
So,
us. But one thing that I want to say though is that uh, I don't necessarily agree with people who are skeptical at her conversion. You know, I believe that she has been converted. Why? Because I know the God that I believe in. I know the God that I serve, and I know that nothing is impossible unto Him. There is nobody that is beyond the grace of God apart from Satan himself. So anyone can change, anyone can repent. But again, you pointed something very important. We have to be, today is social media age. A little things, any little thing, social media has a way to like magnifies it, to make it bigger than what it is. So especially when you're a public figure, even if you're not, be mindful what you throw out there, because you're doing it on the at the heat of the moment. But once you come down, once all the water comes down, the things that you put out there will remain. So we have to be mindful of that. So I do
Ma,
believe that she has changed, because I know God can change anyone. It doesn't matter. She's not beyond the grace of God. So I believe that she has changed. And I was
ma,
emotional. Yes, I'm listening.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I think when it comes to Toto and Churchill, a lot of people, especially the male gender, are angry with her. They're like, your apology is not as loud as your disrespect. And I agree with that. You don't come online and just, drag somebody's name through the mud like that. And then when you want to apologize, it's pretty damn low. How about
No, I don't.
making
I,
that
I do not
apology
agree with
really
that,
loud?
CB. I do not agree that her apology wasn't loud, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't be here talking about it. The fact that she went on and she said, "Yes, I'm converted, I've changed, and I have apologized, and now we're back in good terms." I feel like, what do we want her to do? To put her head like on the road on a plate and come give to him? No, I mean, I feel like that's is plenty, but again, it's not going to erase the past. Only God can erase, right, an offense, because he said that I will not remember your iniquities. God can do that, but men are not quick to forget like that. So that's again why we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful of what we say out there. But the reason why I've also brought up this topic again is because I wanted us to talk about what she said. She said something there. She said, between you, between me, between God. I never mentioned anything to my son about his dad. In other words, it was as, like it's as if it never existed in our home. And I can relate to that, because I am that person that I promise you that I will never get like, I never hate anyone. I will never get angry to the place where I hold grudge. I don't do it. Why? Because when I'm angry, if you really wrong me, what I do is I just erase you from my memory, because I feel like talking about you is giving you too much credit. Thinking about you is giving you too much credit. Being angry against you is still giving you too much credit. So what I do when I'm really angry and I'm really mad and I see that there's nothing that can be done in this relationship is that I just completely delete you from my being. So I could relate to that. But let's talk about how you deal with betrayal at the face of parenting, on the face of parenting, when you have children. I want everyone here in the studio to kind of tell us, how do you deal with betrayal? And if you had a child, how would you go about it? Would you just pretend as if the other person never existed? Would you just remove the name of the other person from, if it's just a boyfriend, a fiance, it's understandable, but you have a child, meaning that he is part of that child. What is the best way to go about dealing with betrayal and raising children? So, Miss Elise, welcome in the studio. Happy Sunday. How are you? Is Miss Elise here?
Mr. Liz is not
Okay.
here.
Okay, she's not. Okay, I thought she was the one who entered the studio. Let me see. Did she say anything?
No, no, I was the one who entered with my other device. She's not here now.
Yeah, okay. But look, go ahead. Let's hear from you. I know you're not married. I know you don't have kids, but I'm pretty sure you have experienced a lot of things around you. What is the best way to go about betrayal and raising children? Do you think it's wise to just like, instead of maybe like poisoning the mind of the child, because some people do that. Do you think maybe it was a good call to just like kind of stop talking about the ex-husband and just never mention him? Or what's the best way to go about it?
Okay, everyone, good evening. I just want to start by this. Coach Michelle, you already said it. I'm not married. I don't have kids. So
Yes.
I don't know if I can really give a good advice on this scenario about people with kids who are being betrayed. So I'm not going to say it from my own point of view. Actually, you see, if one is betrayed, if one is betrayed, I think there's no need spoiling the kid's mind. There's no need spoiling the kid's mind. Saying your dad or your mom is evil, stuff like that. I think the issue is between you and your spouse. It's between you and your spouse. The kids does not have anything to do. So I think the kids that you have together still supposed to know that uh, I have a father somewhere, I have a dad somewhere, I have a mom somewhere, and they have to respect that.
Mm.
Even if the person did you bad thing, maybe the man did the lady a very bad thing, and the lady felt betrayed. I still feel that uh, the lady or the man should respect that child life and say that your father is this is your father.
Mm.
You should not spoil the child's mind. I know that's why I said I'm not married and I don't have kids, so I don't know how people feel about this issue. People that are married, I'm just trying to give my own opinion. So I don't feel that they should spoil the kid's mind. You see, children, single mom or single dad, children needs their other parents. It's very
Mm.
important. Children need their other parents. Even even if you're not together again, you are divorced. I think you are supposed to put a father figure or a man figure in the life of that child, or a woman figure or a mother figure in that child's life to teach that child some things that child needs to know about manhood, about womanhood. Because to be frank with you, single mothers are trying to raise kids, to raise male child. They are trying. Single mothers have raised male child. They are good. They are okay. The society, they are better. But I feel there are some things that a man needs to impute into that child's life, that boy's life, that mother cannot put on that child life. That's why I feel the mother or the father doesn't need to spoil that kid's life. Don't need to spoil that kid's mind by saying your mother is bad, your father is bad. You both of you have issue. I think both of you have a way of solving your issue. Don't bring the child into it, because I feel one day that child is going to ask for his mother or his father. Is going to ask for it. There will come a time. It might take 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, but there will come a time when that child is going to ask for his mother or his father. You cannot erase that thing from a child's life. If the child does not ask about it, the society will ask the child that who is your father? Where is your father? We want to know your father. And that child will start looking, for his father. We start going on social media, stuff like that, to look for his father or his mother. So in my own idea, I feel that nobody should spoil any child's mind, no matter the wrong that is done. Both of you have a way to handle it without spoiling that child's thoughts. Thank you, man.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, you said it all. We have to like be mindful of that child. He's growing, and very soon he's gonna ask questions. And again, you said that you're not married. Just to confirm that it's sometimes difficult to relate to some things that people are going through unless we have worked down the same path. And sometimes we can like believe that if we were in that situation we would be like cool-minded but or cool-headed, but until you work down the path that the person has worked through, you cannot really understand what is it that they're experiencing. And sometimes, especially when you're hurting, you're betrayed, sometimes you just can't think right. And when the child finds himself in the middle of that mess, sometimes it's hard. So I agree with you though that we have to do well to find a better way to deal with our pain in such a way that it's not going to affect that next generation that we are raising, right? Especially the moment that we have children, the betrayal is not against the child. Like we have had this conversation here before that Miss Elise and Miss and CB will say that like an infidel husband is a bad father. And I remember Luke and I, we disagreed with that because we said that no, he has betrayed you, the mom. He has not betrayed his kid. So you shouldn't put the child in the midst of all of that. You should still allow, if he has been a good father, if his presence doesn't cause any harm to that child, you would do well to still allow him or her to continue to be a parent to that child. You shouldn't like project that pain onto the child. You shouldn't do it because your father has done this to me, then this is how we are going to respond to your father, and that not mixing the child in the midst of that. So yeah, we should do well with those things. And again, it gives us to learn. So guys, let's stop a moment and take some comments. Luke, do you want to take some comments?
Okay. Now, there's a comment from Sanusi, and she's saying that they should drag their issues between each other, not spoiling the child's mind because you want to be the best parent. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Hi, Sanusi. I
Couple should,
totally agree with you. Yeah.
and Sanusi was also saying the same thing that we don't need to spoil one partner. Don't spoil the children's mind. You don't need to spoil one partner by spoiling the children's mind. That's true. That's true again.
Yes.
And Juliet said something again. Said they have been seeing,
Juliet.
yeah,
Yeah.
no matter what we do as mothers to keep the child away from their father, he or she might eventually grow up and start looking for that man who was never involved in raising him or her. That's true. That's true.
All right. Is that all for the comment?
Yeah, I think the rest comment they are also saying the same thing.
Okay.
The rest comment are saying the same thing. Yes.
All right, guys. So yeah, I mean, let's remember these things, right? Let's remember these things because sometimes it looks so good in the book, and once it comes to practicing, we just kind of like forget. You know, we get blinded by our pain and emotions, and we forget to do the right thing. So yeah. Okay, guys.
Juliet said
Guys,
something.
yeah, go for it.
Uh, she said that Tonto is truly sorry. If the husband doesn't have a problem with that, then that's the truth. If the husband doesn't have a problem with our apology, then in-laws, in quotes, to judge her. If God has forgiven somebody, I think that person is forgiven. Nobody should dive into it to cause issues again.
I
But that's all,
agree.
man.
I agree. I mean, who are we? I don't. Yeah, who are we? And the Bible said that you will recognize them by their fruits. If someone said that I am repented and living up to that repentance, and you see the change, and you see the way, we should give them credit, right? Because if someone said that I have repented, and then you see them living in a certain way, this is true repentance. Because who would have seen this happen? Because someone would say that the greatest miracle is the transformation of life. And she said that in that video, in that testimonial. She has been transformed, and we can someone mute, please? She has been transformed, and we can witness that every day. We can witness that transformation every day. So who are we to doubt? And doubting is like saying, God, you can't do it. This person is beyond your mercy. You cannot change them. So I really believe her. I think she was sincere. And if she's not, time will tell us. Okay. All right, guys. So I think that's all with love and life under the spotlight. Now, Miss Elise is not here to read our letter. Sibi, are you going to do it, or do you want me to do it? Is Sibi here?
CB.
Okay, I don't know if CB is here. So guys, we'll get right into the letter. Like I said to you before at the beginning, this is gonna blow your mind. Don't go anywhere. So we'll get to it right after the break.
Let's slow it down, let's talk it through. Intentions clear, what's real, what's true. No fairy tales, no empty claims. Love is effort, not just names. Ask the questions people skip. Commitment shows in follow through, not lips. If it's worth it, it survives the miles. Distance tests, but love decides.
All right, guys. So I'm going to read that letter for you. He said, I met this woman when I was 23 years old. At the time, she was 17. She had dropped out of school. Guys, I'm going to put that on the screen so we can read together, okay? So let's read it together. So he said, I met this woman when I was 23 years old. At the time, she was 17. She had dropped out of school because her family could not afford the fees, and she was selling goods by the roadside to support herself. I truly loved her, and I was later introduced to her parents. They approved of our relationship and even suggested that I should marry her at that time. However, I declined because I felt we were both still too young. Instead, I promised to help her build a better future. I supported her financially through secondary school and later through vocational training. Eventually, she earned a diploma in nursing. My intention was always to marry her once we were both stable. 5 years later, when we were finally preparing to get married, her father suddenly changed his mind and opposed the marriage. He preferred another man for her, someone who was financially well established, who had given her father a large sum of money to help restart his business. Under pressure from her family, she married the man. However, we did not stop seeing each other. During her marriage, I fathered all 3 of her children, and her husband never suspected that the children were not his. Now, there is a serious problem. Our first daughter is suffering from a persistent condition that appears to be spiritual in nature. Both her mother and her legal husband have tried everything they can to help her, including visiting several traditional healers, but nothing has worked. However, after making my own inquiries, I discovered that her suffering may be connected to a vow my grandmother made me take before she died, that my first daughter will become her heir. I believe that this unfulfilled vow is the cause of what my daughter is going through. I do not know how to resolve this because if the truth is revealed, it could destroy her marriage and deeply affect her family. My daughter is suffering greatly, and I feel completely trapped. I do not know what to do. Please do not judge me. I am only asking for help. Ha! Okay, guys, that's our letter of today. He is asking for your help. my friends in the comment section, and if you're joining this show for the first time, this is someone going through some ordeal and hoping that by the end of today, we will help him gain a little bit of clarity. I hope we will be able to. Because as I read this letter, I couldn't help but wondering, wow, how can a woman be married and be having children with someone else? How is that even possible? What kind of world are we living in? CB, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because it's crazy. Didn't you read that letter?
No, it's not. If we normalize cheating for one gender, what do you expect
Oh,
from the other gender?
Miss CB, what are
Yeah,
you
I'm going
saying?
to start with that. Yes,
Miss CB,
now,
no,
because
no, no. Are you saying that I normalized you?
I said we. I said we. I'm not.
Okay.
I wasn't being specific. I said we normalize cheating for one gender, so that's why women are now partaking in paternity fraud. Yeah, it's everywhere now because I say this all the time. If something is wrong, let it be wrong across. Nobody should be
Huh.
exempted. It's just like saying you are exonerating a mother for stealing bread to feed her hungry child. Stealing is wrong. She shouldn't steal. And for the weaker vessel, don't you think that women should be given a pass? Yeah. So
No, Miss.
it's not crazy. She's not the first person to start it. She's not the second person. She will not be the last. This paternity fraud did not just start with Gen X. It has been existing for years. It's just that there are some people there are some men that never found out that they didn't father their children until they went to heaven. Let me put it that way. But technology now is exposing these kinds of women who cheat on their husband, and they don't stop at cheating, they get pregnant for other men, and then allow the man to cater for that child from cradle to, let's say, university level, till they become adults and they're old enough to go and live their lives. You see, what is wrong, irrespective of the gender. So he's asking for help. What what does he want us to do? What
Well,
does he want us
now
to help him with?
I know. Like that's what I was like, guy. The Bible said that we have to like turn away from evil. This is evil, guys.
Exactly.
This
Mm-hmm.
is evil. Uh, and I mean, and it stinks different. I know you don't agree with me. Like when it comes from a woman, I I feel like it stinks
Yes,
different when it comes from a woman because like
ma'am.
this man married you. You live in his house, but yet you are out there doing that. I'm like, really? If you really was into that other man, why did you agree to marry this one in the first place? And even after you got married to him, when you realized that you did not have any feelings for him, why didn't you call it quit? You always have to do the right thing at all times, right? You have to, because I mean, if you don't have the fear of man, you should at least have the fear of God. You should at least have the fear of God,
Mm.
because maybe no one knows your secret. Maybe no one knows what you're doing behind closed doors. But guess who is watching? God is watching. So I
But
don't know.
Mr. Lee, God is watching all genders. He's not saying because you are a man you are forgiven. That's why he didn't allow the child that David had with Bathsheba to live. Actions
No,
have consequences.
you're being very partial when you mention that particular case, because the same God who did not allow that child to live is the same God who allows that same woman to give birth to the next heir to the throne. So God works in mysterious ways. And
That's what I'm saying, Ma. We are saying the same thing, Ma. We are
okay,
on the same page.
okay,
Whatever it is, okay, it's just like what Eve did in the Garden of Eden. She ate the forbidden fruits. And
yes,
then God punished Eve, but God called Adam. He called Adam because he put Adam in charge. And then Adam is supposed to be the head. He is
mm,
supposed to guide Eve and make sure that Eve doesn't make that mistake of disobeying him and trying to eat that fruit. You understand?
yes,
But Adam went ahead to sin with Eve. You see, God will always hold the man accountable. You cannot be saying you are the head. What are you the head for if you cannot be in control of your home, if you cannot take control of things, if you cannot say, oh no, this is not happening in this house? Why are you the head? And you're not just the head, you're the head so that your wife can look up to you and not do some certain things. I was watching a video on Instagram this evening before our show, and the guy has been cheating. She was complaining. She's a black American. She was complaining. You know, these shows they do go for and they expose their, to watch their dirty linen in public. Yeah, just that kind of
mm,
show. So
yeah,
she has been complaining, but the guy did not do anything. But the guy did not listen to her. He went as far as sleeping with her own boss. So what she did was, she was like, okay, fine, I know what to do. She slept with his own friend. You used to see the way this guy was weeping, like in front of the mic. He stood there. He was watching her when they were asking her those questions. Like, she said yes, and that she doesn't care. She doesn't feel anything because the moment he did that, her feelings for him died. You see, women don't we don't forget we don't forget cheating. We don't forgive it. We just act like we are forgiving it, your sin, or like we have forgotten. No, women are human beings. We are not plastic. We have feelings. To that pain you're feeling as a man when you discover that this child is not yours, that's the same pain the woman is feeling when she feels like, okay, I'm not enough for you. That's why you went out to do what you. The only, let me just say this, and I'll say it once. The only time you should forgive a man for cheating on you is when he's under the influence. That's the only time. Because at that point, he probably was not in control of his feelings or
I
anything
understand,
he
I
did
understand what you're saying,
under the influence.
but
Apart from that,
you
that's the
know
only time
how.
I make a exception. Apart from that, you are guilty, sir. You are
So
guilty, like
you know how
100%.
I feel about that. I'm convinced, just from watching people, just from talking with women every day, just from advising people, that a woman will forgive cheating. She will, if the man is repentant. Because I cannot tell you how many women are going through this
Yes.
right now. And these are women who talk to me all the time. And their dreams, their prayer, their hope
And
is that this man gonna stop doing what he's doing and come back. I was talking with another one, I believe last week, and she told me that. And I asked her, are you willing to spend the next 5, 10 years of your life the same way that you have, I mean, of your marital life, the same way that you have in the past 5, 10 years? And I believe she told me that before the other woman, it was perfect. And I'm hoping that we're going to get back to the place where the other woman is not there. So what would you say about this woman? She's like, of course, she's ready to forgive this man. As a matter of fact, she's not even ready to divorce him, even though he's still like actively seeing the other person. I'm talking to you about, because sometimes
but Coach Michelle,
it's easy to come on the
he
screen
has
here
to
and be
do the
like,
work.
what was that?
I said he has to do the work. He has to show her evidence, or like, how do I put this? Proof that you have changed or that you're
That's what I'm
willing to
saying.
repent.
That's what I'm saying. That most women,
Not
most married
the
women,
not
a
the
lot of
kind
them,
that will rub it on your face and then
yeah,
start saying things like, I'm a man, I can,
yeah.
it's my nature. It's not your nature, sir. You just
Thank
lack
you,
discipline.
thank you.
That's how I see it. It's not your
You know,
nature.
sometimes I wish one day I will have like a table talk of all these women coming and sitting and just telling us their why for staying in those marriages so long. So like I was saying, these women, like you said, they don't forget, they don't forgive. Most of them are ready to forget and to forgive. And they pray every day that the man will just go back to who he used to be, so that their relationship and their marriage, their home can also go back to what it used to be. And oftentimes these men are not even repentant. That's the part that I don't get. So me here as Coach Michelle, when I say that cheating is not necessarily a deal breaker, is considering that this man is repentant. He is ready to work. He is ready to put in the work. He is ready to do the necessary to save the marriage. Me, in that particular case, in that particular situation, I would take a time. I would like consider maybe sticking around a little bit and see if we can work things out. But a man who does it the first time, the second time, the 10th time, and just doesn't even care because he has become his second nature, and he rubs it on my face and be like, I don't care. What am I fighting for, guys? What am I fighting for? Like, it's like you're in a movie on your own, doing on your own thing for your own, outcome. A man who will not repent, a man who will repeatedly cheat on you is not worth fighting for. I mean, what are you fighting for? It's like chasing fallacies.
We are on the same table now. I think we
Yeah.
disagree to agree now.
Okay. So here now, coming back to our Miss Alice is here. I'm so sorry. Alice.
Yes, coach. I'm sorry. I forgot today was Sunday. I
Okay,
was praying today. I
every time we're
forgot.
up on Sunday, you can just come in. That's okay. Thank you so much for making it today on the studio. Have you heard the
Hi, Miss
story?
Alice. Happy new month.
Well,
Welcome. It's been a while. We miss you here.
thank
Welcome,
you.
ma.
Thank you, Miss B. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to hear you guys today. When I came in, we guys were busy. I couldn't stop the conversation by respect.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Did you hear the story? Like, it's
And
crazy. I think,
even if I did not hear the story, I can already from what CB was saying, it looked like we are dealing here with a man that was cheating and the wife or
no,
whoever.
no, let me tell you the story. It's better than that. Let me tell you the story. So, our letter today is written by a man. This man used to date this girl. He met her when she was 17 years old. And at that time, they were so poor. Like in Africa, like your parents don't have money to send you to school, and then you start selling. You go to the market, you start hustling. This is how he meets this girl. And he gets introduced to her parents. And the parents are like, we don't have no money to take care of her anyway. Do you want her? You can marry her. And he goes like, no, I am not gonna marry her now. We're still very young. We are not stable yet, but I will help this girl to go back to school. So he helped her. He sponsored her back to school until she became a nurse. She got her high school diploma and then she went to become a nurse. The moment that she became a nurse, her dad decided that she was too good for this guy. So he decided to pressure her to marry someone else who, according to the dad, was more financially buoyant. So under pressure, she agrees to marry the rich guy. But her heart belonged to her boyfriend, the one who helped her through school. She continued to see him to the point where they had 3 kids. So listen, she's married to the rich guy, but she's having children with her ex-boyfriend, the one who trained her through school. Now, the problem is that their first child together, who is a girl, started having some spiritual attacks. She started being sick. She and her husband, her current husband, went like, you know, on the like looking for solutions or answers, like what's going on. And they kept saying that there are some stuff, there are some traditional rites that have to be performed on the side of the child's father. There's some things that need to be done to fix this issue. And now the real father, the biological father, the one who is writing the story today, also went to look into it, to ask questions, and sure enough, yes, his grandmother, before dying, had made him vow that his first daughter was going to be her heir. His first daughter was going to be her heir, meaning that there's some traditional rites that need to be performed. Now, the first daughter belonged to another man. But she is sick because that tradition needs to be done. That rite needs to be done. So he's like, how am I going to do now? How do we reveal the truth that this daughter is mine, so that at least we can take her traditionally to the place where we will get that issue fixed by appointing her as the heir to my grandmother, so that she can stop being attacked. So how am I going to do this without like causing too much commotions, without breaking her marriage, without destroying her family? Because mind you, this rich man has given money to her dad to start a business, meaning that there's a lot at stake. The child is suffering, but only her biological father can bring the solution to that suffering. And meanwhile, her legal father, her mom's husband, is clueless. So this is the issue, Miss Alice. So the guy writing to us is asking, how do I help my daughter? My daughter is suffering without destroying everything in the process. Is the story clear, Miss Alice? Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, the story is clear. Now, my first question is that, is the school boyfriend, the school boyfriend one that paid her school fees, he told the mother of the child about what is going on?
Yes.
On the child.
Yes, she knows. Yeah.
My dear, I do not care. I'm going to take my child to my boyfriend because at the beginning, it was not my fault. You know, these days, parents like to force children to get married. This is what they get by forcing someone to marry somebody. You know, this guy has paid all these school fees. Anyway, it's not just about the school fees. And the lady loved the guy so much. It's not like the guy was forcing the lady to say, since I paid the school fees, you must give me back my money. He did not force her to marry her. The love that she had for him is the one that make her to go back. Meanwhile, her parents forced her to marry to a rich man. I don't care, my child will leave. I do not care. I do not care. I don't care if you pay the bride price. I don't care. If that was going to make my child to leave, look, I'm not going to even tell them. I'm not going to even tell my husband. Even my husband knows my parents forced me to give me to you. He knows because he came with his money and blind my parents. So that means they basically sold the child to a rich man. And this is what they get. You know, problem solved. The parent can return the bride price and let the woman go back to her first love. Finish.
Wow. I like the way that Miss Alice is like, I'm not going to beat around the bush over here. Like, I mean, what's the issue? Like, just let's end the madness.
That's what I'm doing. He doesn't come and tell me this is what is happening right now. My dear, I'm not gonna sell my child for money. Because they already sold me for money, and then I'm gonna continue sewing my children for money. It was not my fault. My story was clear. I tell you guys, I don't want this rich man. You force me. Okay. You want me to marry me? That's fine. You want me to marry him? Let's go play the game. Let's play. You hear? And then I'm going to tell them, if I open my eyes one day and that something has happened to my love, you, my both parents, my father and my mother, I'm not going to ask to the guy, the rich man, what happened to my man. You, both of you, will answer the question. That's going to be the day you will know that you give birth to a lady, not to a man.
Wow. So, but guys, I want us, I wish Miss Elise was here, because as I was reading this, I could hear her saying in my, like, resonating in my ears, like, cheerful giver, a cheerful receiver.
I don't care.
Hold on, Miss Alice, I want us to digress a little bit, and maybe, Luke, you can come in and tell us what you think about this. What are your thoughts around a man sponsoring a woman that he hasn't gotten married to? Look, you are the guy.
Let me tell you, wait, before Luke answer, you understand?
Yes.
Before Luke answer, the parent does not have no right to choose where the daughter gonna go. If the guy has sponsored the school and the lady go up and say, I don't want you, that's gonna be the time where, you understand? That's gonna be the time where you put the blame on the guy. You know that this woman does not love you, and you continue pay her school. Now the girl really loved the guy. He paid the school. The woman was taking the money from him, knowing that whenever this thing finished, I will go and marry him. Just because I love him. It's not over here. It's not the woman's fault. You understand? It's not the woman's fault. It's not the lady that's the sponsor her school fault. This is the parent trying to control the life of that child. So anyway, that's how I see it. Okay,
Yeah.
look at the answer.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alice, for adding that. So, look, if you're here, tell me, what are your thoughts around? Imagine that you are a man yourself. You haven't found the one yet, but what are your thoughts around sponsoring a woman that you have not gotten married to?
Sorry, my network is breaking. So
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to state this.
Hello?
I'm going to blame the girl, the lady. That's my first point. That's my first point. First of all, she has a part to play in this, so I'm going to blame her first. You see, I don't think as a grown-up girl, anybody can force you, can pressure you in this our society, in this world, can pressure you to marry who you do not like. So that's my first point.
Yes. Do you wanted to add something? But I also want for you to, I don't know. Luke, are you still here? Okay, look, maybe we lost you, but CB, let's try to make this thing make sense. CB, let's assume you have a brother. What would be your thought around sponsoring a woman that one has not been married to? Is that a wise thing to do? Is CB
Thank you,
here?
ma. Okay. Yes, ma. I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm here. Um, when you're dating, like you're just dating, boyfriend and girlfriend, no, don't do that. When you're proposed and you can see that marriage is on the way, you're already making your marital plans, then you can go ahead and sponsor her. There's nothing wrong with that. At least we know you're doing it for your wife. But for just a relationship, mere relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, allowance is enough. Don't go ahead sponsoring somebody you are not sure she's going to settle down with you tomorrow. I say no to that. But if you're engaged to be married and you already have marriage plans, why not? There's nothing wrong.
Okay. So I agree with what you said. If you know for sure that you're gonna marry that person, and I can see why this guy fell for that, because when he first got introduced to this lady's family, the whole family, because they didn't know what to do with her anyway. They didn't have money to sponsor her to school. She had to fend for herself for survival. And they actually offered him to marry her right away. And he was the one who said, no, let me help her first. Let me help her get to a better place first, and then we'll get married. So you could see that was kind of his assurance that this family likes me. They accepted me. As a matter of fact, they wanted me to marry their daughter like now. But I'm the one who is postponing because I want the very absolute best for their daughter. So he did not see that change of mind, that sudden denial, refusal from the father. He didn't see it coming. So I can understand why he was misled in this story. But still, there's something that we can all learn here. Don't do it. It is not your responsibility to train someone else's child to school. It is not. Maybe you would have done well to wait for her to turn maybe 18, because she was 17 when you met her, and then marry her and then send her to school while you guys are married. I mean, being married doesn't mean that you don't go to school. I myself had a degree like here in America after like 3 kids. That's when I went back to college, So it's never too late. Marry her first and then send her to school. It's just to be on the safe side.
Can I say something?
Like my friend Elise would say, cheerful giver, cheerful receiver. But if you decide to train her while she's still living, hold on, Miss Alice, I will come to you in a moment. But if you decide to train her, to sponsor her while she's still at her parents' house, then be prepared that anything can happen. We have heard this kind of stories countless times. You guys remember last year or the year before, we had the story of the guy who the whole family had accepted him. He sponsored that girl, but before they could get married, he got involved in a car accident. And the parents were like, we don't want you to marry a handicapped, a disabled man. And she was like, I love him. He's always been there for me. He has done this for me. And the family really was like, no, we do not want you to marry someone with a disability. So anything can happen. And we need to learn from these things. And the moment that you decide that you're going to sponsor that girl while she still lives at her parents' house, be prepared for anything. The moment that they refuse, that they don't want you anymore, after you have helped clean up the girl very good, don't go crying. Just let it go. Be a cheerful giver. Right, Miss Elise, if you watch this. Don't be crying. Miss Alice, you were going to say something.
Anyway, like I said in the beginning, we're going to come back here and say it again. You understand? There is something in life that is called a vision. There is something in life that is called a vision. What about if this guy, I saw a vision that this is my wife? The thing is, look, it's not everybody. Maybe like you were saying, maybe the girl was 17 or 18, she need to go to school. This guy did not want to marry somebody that is a baby. What about if she had married the girl because she's so young and later on the girl said, you are not my type? Let the child grow. Let her be a woman and decide for her life. That is a reason why in the revival, we don't baptize the children when they are still a baby. We baptize them when they already understand the body of Christ and the blood of Jesus. So that's when we baptize them. So let's suppose that this guy just see that these two girls, Yes, the parent, they cannot do anything. Yes, they want me to take her as a wife. They look at the child and say that this is a child. Why am I going to be taking a child home as a woman when she is not even a woman yet? He decided to say, okay, I'm going to just do this one while the child is still growing. If it happens one day that this child grow up and still have the same love that she have for me, good. But if she grow and say, I don't want you anymore, in this case, I cannot blame either the guy, I cannot even blame either the woman. Because you can see where when they say true love don't die.
Amen.
A true love don't die. You understand? So you're gonna have so many obstacles. You're gonna have so many obstacles that is blocking you. But the God that put them together, no matter what kind of barrier that you guys have put to block this woman not to be with this guy, God will see turn it other way. Even though the rich man come, the rich man was not the one for the girl. That was not who God has sent in her life. When you look at the story, the person that God really sent for her was the guy that paid her school fee. What about if it's a vision? You guys are not going to tell me today that if you sponsor something, it depends. Everything depends. Let's say that guy come to the woman. Maybe he even noticed that that woman does not want me, but he using his money to buy her love. He did not use his money to buy the love of the child. He did not do that. That is not what he was doing, according to what you read at our listening. That if it's a case where he trying to use his money to make the God to love him, that's a different story. But in this story, you can see that there was a match, that God matched both of them together. No matter how long it takes for the girl to finish the school, she was still in love with that guy, and the guy still wanted that woman. You know, if I want to say, even you, Coach Michelle, I know that most of the time it really doesn't happen. You yourself, you know my story.
Yes.
You know it. You understand? You know my story. So it's not always mean that if you sponsor somebody, it does not really mean that you are wasting your money. What about if it's a vision? But the truth here is that when the girl grew, her parents forced her to a rich man. Meanwhile, she won the mind of her vision, but they refuse. But today, I believe even those parents, that is going to be a lesson to those parents. Because if you meet the girl, I'm not going to regret it too. I'm not regretting nothing. But this rich man going to only be ashamed on himself. You come to our home. This girl does not want you. You use your money to buy love of the girl. Not even your money could not buy her love. Your money only buy the love of the parent. Were you marrying a parent or you are marrying the woman that you are taking to your home? We don't know. It looked like you were there to marry the parent, not the wife.
So, Miss Alice, if I understand what you're saying that what is meant to be will be, and that's what happened with these two lovely
Yes,
girls.
what you meant to be will be, and nobody can
That's what
block.
you're saying. And you're
Now,
also saying that it's okay to take the risk to
the parent can
sponsor a
still
woman.
look. The parent can still return the bride price. The only thing they have to return here, it is not the store market that he built for them, because there was something that is called bride price, and that's the only thing he owns those parents today. But what he does after the bride price does not count. But it's only the list of the bride price that they gave him that can be returned to the husband in case
All
of
right.
divorce.
I hear you, Miss Alice. I hear what you're saying. You stand by this guy. You stand by his girlfriend, the mother of his children,
Mhm.
and you say that it's okay to take a risk to sponsor a woman that you have not like married.
It's not this.
Um,
I did not
but
say that you take
I,
a risk. That's not what I'm saying.
it's a risk because when you sponsor
Coach
a woman
Michelle.
that is
No,
not your
I did not say. I did not say
anything
that you
can
can take
happen.
a risk.
You
That's not what I
you
said.
say it's okay. It's okay to sponsor a girl that you like.
No,
If you're convinced
look.
that God's
Before, when you see this particular story,
yeah.
I'm not advising any woman out there to go to, or any man out there to go and start sponsoring anybody's school or sponsoring a girl. If this man is not, if that thing is not coming for the vision, because a lot
Okay.
of people are doing
So
crazy.
what you're saying, I know you're a believer. I know you're a believer. So what you're saying is that if you know for sure that this woman is the one for you, if you have prayed about it, if God has given you the confirmation that this woman is your woman, then you get the green light. You get to go and do the needed to ensure that she has a better future, like which imply also like sending her to school and stuff like that. That's what
Yes,
you're saying, right?
yes. But
Yeah.
if you are not sure about it, don't do it.
If you're not sure about it, don't do it.
Don't
But
do it.
because yeah, but because what I would say is that because we are human and because sometimes God could have a plan for you, but because man, the world, the earth, and everything within has been given to a man, sometimes a man can come and change the trajectory of what God has prepared for you. And this is what the father-in-law did in this particular case. He
And
came and
that is why the children is not belong to the rich man. You see?
yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but where I'm heading to is that to be on the safe side, I have I have boys, I have sons, I have brothers. I wouldn't advise anyone to do it, even if you are convinced that the woman is for you, that woman is your wife. I wouldn't advise you to do it, but I will tell you this: if you're absolutely wanting to do it, if you're convinced in your heart that this is what you should do, then be prepared that anything can happen. Because if this was my child going through this, if this was my brother, I would tell him that, yes, you have invested. The family has decided otherwise. Step out. Let it go. Let it go.
What is making
Like
you
someone would say,
what
let go and let
wait
God.
wait.
Yeah.
What I'm saying here is that in this particular case that we are talking here right now, in this particular case, yes, anything just came and happened like it's happened. Anything came and happened like it's happened. But the girl choose that whatever make sure that the rich man will not pregnant her. She
I,
makes
under,
sure that none
I,
of the child,
I understand. I mean, yes.
because she does not love him.
Yes, I understand.
Mhm.
I mean, your point is very clear. Your point is very clear. I don't know if Luke is back in the studio. I don't know, but you said also
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you said, Miss Alice, that can we take some comments before we move on to the next thing? I see there's a lot of comments. Luke, please put some comments in the screen. Can you read the comments, Luke? I see here that it is societal. This is from Netizen Global. Hi, Netizen or Aaron. It said it is societal to sponsor someone you are not married to. Yeah, right. I agree because CB said never sponsor a girlfriend, only your fiance. I agree because anything can happen. I'm not okay with this guy going and starting having babies with someone else's wife. It's not right. We have to call wrong wrong. It is not right. Yes, did they treat you rightly? No. Was the family fair to you? No. The fact that you have done all of this and they decided to give this woman to someone else. That was so wrong of them. But do you avenge yourself? Do you become the thief of something that was a stealer of something that was supposed to be yours? No. I have a philosophy, and you got to live and to die with pride, and you have to do it right, meaning that even if things don't go your way, you still have like an integrity to protect. The fact that you went and started seeing someone else's wife, it is not right. She got married to him, you had to let go. You had to become that cheerful giver and let go. That is just my 2 cents. So there's another comment that says, this is AJ. Hi, AJ. There is no justification for doing wrong. The guy should have seen sponsoring her as a charity work. After the father gave her to the rich man, he should have accepted his fate and walked away. You nailed it, AJ. 100%. Yes, he should have walked away. He did wrong. Even though the rich man did wrong by coming and reaping where he did not sow, you don't get to do the wrong thing just because other people have done the wrong thing. And this coming back to our opening of today, talking about infidelity, for instance, I will never stoop so low because someone else has. The idea, the argument that because a man has been infidel, I, the woman, should also go and do the same thing. Like Miss Elise would say, every woman that will put up with a cheater is also a cheater. I'm like, no, I will never. It's not because you have decided to be a pig that I would turn myself into one. I know who I am, and I have worked hard to become who I am, and I know who I represent for God. So I could get up one morning and realize that I entered a wrong association by being married to you. I'm not gonna like throw away everything that I am and everything that I represent just because I want to match your energy, just because I want to match your vibe. I will never do that. I love myself. I'm the temple of the Holy Spirit. Why would I get myself dirty? Why would I get myself in a mold? The Bible said that don't give your precious belonging to pigs because they will trample upon it. That means that you can get up one morning and realize that you were married to a pig and that you have given him your precious belongings, meaning your time, your energy, your love, your nurturing. You have invested all of that in that relationship.
You forced me to a man.
Hold on, Miss Alice, please. Give me one moment. So you can get up one morning and realize that you have invested all this year in the wrong person. What do? You stop being who you are, the amazing person that you are, just because you want to get even with a pig? Think about it. No, you can walk away with dignity. And that's what this guy should have done. He should have walked away with dignity. Okay, now, Miss Alice said that the parents of this woman are the one to blame. The fathers of this woman are to blame. What about you, CB? Who is to blame in this issue? Is CB here? Oh, everyone has left the studio. What happened?
Oh, what happened? It's only me and you here.
Okay. So, Miss Alice, you said that these parents were to blame. I'm
saying is that if all the girl in this world that the parents forced them to give them to a man that they don't love, go ahead and do this that this woman have done, all this nonsense will stop. If all the women in this world, I will advise all the women in this world, if it happens one day that you have your lover somewhere and your parents forced you to give you to someone that you don't love, do exactly what this woman did to help other girls to survive. Because if it keeps happening, they will not do that again. In the meantime, look, Because Michelle, it's only the woman that knows who is the father of the child. So when that girl take herself to that guy, she know by going here, I'm going to get pregnant. She will make sure the day that she's going to sleep with her own husband, the day she sleep with her own husband, if it's on her fertility day, she will take a pill to wash it out. And then the next day, she will go to the guy that she loves and get pregnant and leave the pregnancy there. So the guy was in his house. If I, in the story, I did not hear that maybe the guy was coming to went to fight the parent. He did not fight them. He did not fight the parent. He did not say anything. I didn't hear anything like that, that the guy was fighting the parent that he did this. The woman is the one trying to fight for her own good. Because the marriage that her parent put her into was not the marriage. The parent is the one that knows that she married to that guy. The society knows that she married to the rich man. But the woman herself knows she's not married.
Okay.
She knows she's not married. Because, look, that guy married to the parent of the girl. He did not marry to the girl. Because
I mean,
I don't understand how you're going to force somebody to marry. I don't know. If the girl said the parents forced her to marry. You understand? They forced her to marry. If the parent did not force her to marry to the rich guy, and she had loved that rich guy, there was no way she should have go back to the old guy. Mama, come, you see this love? Love is very strong. And when the woman does not love a man, she gonna look, man can use his money to buy the love of the woman. You understand? But woman, when woman does not love you, you will suffer. The Bible says, it's whatever you give to the woman that you receive. You give woman a sperm. She gave you a baby. You gave her a sperm, the sperm. And the sperm comes back to you with the baby. You understand? And then that is a reason why some rich married, you will be seeing them from the outside, but you don't know what the girl is going through inside that home. Maybe it's only when she go to that lover, that she feel at peace. She will receive some kind of peace that she has never received for a week. She is going there to receive a peace only because what she's going through in her marriage, nobody's there to know what she's going through. Everybody know that the husband is rich. That's what they care about.
All right, Miss Alice, thank you. I mean, thank you. You have made your point really clear here. Miss CB, before you left the studio, I don't know what happened. Are you back, CB?
Yes, ma'am. Network.
Okay. Look, you wanted to say something. You're echoing.
Am I echoing?
It's better now.
Okay. I'm really sorry. This, I don't know if it's the heat around that's causing this network to cut like this.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I've missed the show. Try what Miss Alice was saying. So let me just lay my point straight. No. So I was saying earlier that I'm going to blame the girl first of all, and I'll blame the father, and I'll blame the girl's father and the boyfriend. Because this time that we are, this present age, I don't think somebody can force CB. For example, I don't think somebody can force CB to marry who she don't want to marry because of money. I don't think somebody can force CB to marry who she doesn't want to marry. It's not possible. And I don't think parents have that right to force their children. I think everyone has his own right to pick whom he or she loves. So that's why I'm going to blame this girl for allowing herself to be pressured and for allowing her parents to pick a man for her. And secondly, now you are married, you are still seeing your ex. That's where I come in again. She did wrong. You are married, you're supposed to let things go. You're supposed to let things go. Even if your ex is still showing advances to you, you're supposed to let it go. You are married. Nobody, you had a choice to pick your man, even though you were pressured to marry this man and you don't love him. I think you are married to him now. Let it go like that. Let it go. Even if you don't want it, you have to. There are some legal ways to do it. You have to divorce him and marry. You want to marry. That's my point. And the man too, the boy coming to impregnate her. I think the boy is, will I say, is wicked or is bad.
Did we lose you again? Okay, I think maybe we lost
This
Luke
guy
again.
did not. I don't think this guy was revenging the money. I don't think
No,
so.
no, Miss Alice, you already said your point and we understood. So you said that both parents are to blame, not the guy, not the girl.
No,
Luke is saying that all of the above are to blame. What about you, Sebi? Who is to blame?
The girl, I give her like 70%, and then the parents like 30, because why are you forcing your child to marry who she doesn't want to get married, or pressuring? When I say African parents do this a lot, like they just put you under pressure and make you do something you originally wouldn't do, and then they'll be like they're making the best decision for you. So I don't know. I feel like once you are 18, you should know what is best for you. Never allow anyone to pressure you to do what you don't want to do. Because at the end of the day, they are not with her in the marriage. And then if you're going through your storms, you go through those storms alone. There's no amount of, sometimes the people that pressure you to get married to someone you don't want to get married to, sometimes they are not even there when you need a shoulder to cry on. Most of the times they are away, and if you even get their attention, they're telling you fix it. They'll tell you marriage is not a bed of roses. That would be their excuse, and they'll tell you to fix it. So at the end of the day, just make the right decision for yourself. Marriage is not, is a lifetime commitment. So that's why we should be careful who we choose to commit to for the rest of our lives. It's a lifetime commitment, like I just said. You cannot just marry anybody. You cannot put yourself under that pressure because you feel like um the society will say something, or you want to impress your parents, or you're in competition with friends and family. You will just ruin your own life with your money. And I said something on our last show. I say every time the elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. The children are always paying for their parents' sin. They are always suffering the consequences. Innocent children who know absolutely nothing about your dirty lifestyle, they will be the ones paying. That's why I say I tell God every day, I say, God, give me the strength not to make mistakes that will cost my children's emotional or mental health in the future. I do not want to find myself in a situation whereby I'll say, oh, so this decision I made is the reason why my child is all messed up. Know that there are kids who stay away from their parents for life, like they literally don't want to have anything to do with you because they blame you for their problem. They blame you for that, for their trauma. So may God help us all. Thank you, Ma.
can I say something a little bit?
Hold
You know,
on. Before you add something, Miss Alice, I want to. So Miss CB said that the girl is to blame 70%. The parents are to blame
the
30%. And then she said that because how would you allow anyone to force you into a marriage that you do not approve? Why would you allow yourself to be treated like that? Because the moment that things go wrong, the same will not be there to support you. So CB, you're saying that this guy, the one who wrote the letter, he doesn't have any blame? You're not blaming him?
You're the one who bought love, right? So you have a tiny little blame, because
Okay. Like
we
5%.
we have ladies. Yes, we have ladies who say no to rich men.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, no.
especially ladies who cannot.
I'm talking about the guy who wrote the letter, the boyfriend who fathered all the kids. Does he have any blame?
Of course, he has. Why would you be sleeping with somebody's wife? Of course, he has any. I think I missed that. I'm
So
sorry.
this is what, 15% or 20 or 30 or 100%?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I missed that. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me share the percentage again.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, you sleeping with a married woman, I'm giving you 40% blame.
40%.
Yes. And then the lady is taking 50. That's 90. 40 plus 50, that's 90. Parents will take 10 because
Okay.
they played it.
Okay.
So, hey
That's
God,
fair.
this is nasty. This is nasty. And again, you guys can now see that it's not just women that betray men, men betray men. Like, how do you know? Look, I get it if you mess around with single ladies, but messing around with a married woman, bro,
The
that's you
married,
breaking the
the woman is not
brotherhood
married.
code.
The rich man is married to the parent of the woman, not to
No,
her.
no, Miss Alice. He's married to that girl. He is,
He's
and she's
married to her.
signed. She's signed.
Exactly.
The rich man is
So
married to
so
the parents.
so you
Because
see
that
you
was
see
that.
what I'm saying. You see why I say we should not normalize cheating for any gender. How
Because
do you know
if
that?
we want to see this story here, the man is not the one that cheat. The boyfriend is not the cheating. The wife is the one that cheat on her
Hmm.
husband. Finish. I'm
There's
not giving no blame
there's
to the
this
guy.
Coach
Okay.
Mitchell. I don't know that Mark Angel story.
Yes.
He went on a podcast, and then it was this Teju Babyface that was interviewing him. It was like, I was married before quietly and divorced quietly. But he said something, and I held that in very. He said, I wouldn't want my daughter to get married to a man like me.
Oh,
Hmm.
ouch,
He said, if I were my
ouch.
daughter, I wouldn't get married to me. You see what I'm
Wow.
saying? And
But if he
that's why I
doesn't
say
change
every
his
time you
ways,
make,
if
as
he
a
doesn't change
parent,
his ways, his daughter will got married to worse than him.
exactly,
It's
this is why I say as a
happening.
parent, every dirty decision you make, if you think because you're a man, you're just throwing your thing out there, continue throwing it out there, because I don't know, I've not said this story before, but let me just quickly tell this story. There's this church I used to attend. Did you know that Coach Michelle, it was HIV that wiped out this family?
Oh
Guess
my
who
God.
infected his family with HIV? The man. He was always traveling, so when he travels, he feels like he cannot put his thing inside his trouser, so he keeps sleeping around. How did the children
What
get
an
it? Through nail
irresponsible
cutter.
man.
Yes, through nail cutter. They will share nail cutter. That time, as of that time, the awareness for
Hmm.
HIV was not this loud. That was when I started making my decision that nobody's going to ruin my life with cheating. So when I say I don't want men who cheat, I'm not saying it because I want to be proud, or because I want to because I'm a feminist, or because I'm trying to be equal with the man. No, I fear for my life. I fear for my health. I fear for my physical well-being and my spiritual well-being. I'm not paying for your sins, sir. That is where I always come from. So although his own was they sent him back home since he was ill and they couldn't figure out why he was ill. He had to take the test, and that was when he discovered that his own was full-blown AIDS. This one, no coming back from it. Why the
Hmm.
wife and the kids they became HIV positive. And guess what? Everybody in the church, nobody wanted to associate with them because they feel like if he infected his wife and kids, that means he can also infect us too. Because back then, when we do Thanksgiving in church, we share spoon, we share plates,
Yeah.
all those
Yeah.
sharp objects that we use in opening mineral. Okay, you don't understand. Like opener to open drinks, and those
Hmm.
drinks, the corks are rusted. You understand? So
Hmm.
since as of that time, we were a little bit aware of how HIV can be
Hmm.
passed from one person to another and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And that was the reason why everybody was like, including pastor. Pastor said, "Better not come church again. No, no come, no vex. Mona stay." Yes,
Oh
they were
my goodness.
isolated. You see, and even in fact, that's even it left a dent on the church because most people couldn't stay because nobody knows if you've touched the drum in the church and or if you touch any zinc close to, you know how church
That was
can
a little
be.
bit extreme, but yeah, I get the point.
Yes, exactly. Everybody was trying to protect their families, so they cut them off, and that the lady had to leave Lagos, but we later heard that they died in their
Oh.
village. Yes. So that thing lives as in that that experience or whatever it is that happened to that family is in my head. Every time I hear cheating, that's the scenario that plays in my head. I'm like, hey God. So one person can just ruin his life, ruin the
And
life of somebody's
wipe his
daughter,
family out.
or it could
Yeah.
be a woman ruining her
Oh my
husband's
God.
life because she's not faithful. Are you seeing what I'm saying? It could be a
Yes.
woman ruining her husband's life because she's not faithful. She's sleeping around. And then she will end up passing that thing to her children because mothers are very, very, close to kids. They could break plates. You break plate now, the plate tear your hand now. Your child is trying to comfort you. The next thing they've touched your blood. ASAP, you have it. You see, so
Anyway,
that's one of the things I hate about it. It's
every
not
now
right.
and that
I don't
happens.
like it, and it will always be a deal
Yes, I
breaker
mean,
for me. Like,
it's quite sad, this story that you just said, and I'll thank you for kind of like doing the percentage of blame here. So I myself, I will like just kind of like what you said, CB. I will blame all of these people. They're all to blame. The father and the mother who decided to give their daughter in marriage to the rich guy, disregarding the fact that their boyfriend has invested so much money toward this girl education, toward what she has become. Because when she was still like stranded and selling by the street, the rich man wouldn't have even given her like a look. He wouldn't even have take like 5 seconds to look at her. Now she's been cleaned up and now she's just like she meets his standard and it's not right. So the parents are to blame. And these girls as well. Why would you allow yourself to be forced into a marriage that you are not like for? Why would you let yourself to be treated like that? But the moment that you agree with your parents to marry this man, the moment that you stand on that altar and say that I do, you should live up to that. It might hurt, it might sting so hard, but you should live to that I do and be true to it until the day you decide that no, like my Nigerian friend will say, I'm not gonna do, anymore.
Did you ever heard the story where they said
Hold on,
they
let me finish, Miss
no,
Allison.
not
Let me
that they kidnap the boyfriend and go hide him and tell the girl that
I know
the man is dead? Did you
we see
ever?
that, we see that in movies all the time. But I'm saying that the moment that she said I do to the rich man, she should have been true to that vow. So she's also to blame. The rich man is to blame, of course, because before you come marry a woman, do your due diligence. How did she make it? How did she go to school? Ask around. They will tell you that hey, she's been sponsored by your fellow man. Man code. Why would you break that? Why would you like don't treat others the way that you wouldn't want to be treated? So yeah, the rich man is also to be blamed. And the guy
No, he
who
did not. He
also
did not. He was
the
not too
guy
sure that the lady loved him.
yeah, the guy who also decided not to let go, even though his girlfriend had said yes to another man, he continued to see her. That is wrong. Sometimes I love what the Bible says. Sometimes when someone takes your coat, give him your shirt. Just let go. It's okay. It's fine. There's some battles that are not worth fighting. You should have let go of this woman. You shouldn't have continued.
I thank God because all the children belongs to him. So that all these parents that always curse their children, because we have parents out there that put the curse on their children because they refuse to what am I gonna say?
Yeah,
To
to, to
Yes,
obey.
yes,
Yeah,
they put the curse on their children because that lady went to that marriage. You don't know the kind of the kind of treat the parent. You don't know what
yeah,
the
the kind of
parent had done
pressure.
to
Sometimes they
that
will even
girl.
blackmail you. I remember CB, we had that story here where the guy, he lost his arm and then her parents decided that he wasn't good enough for her anymore, even though he had
Yes, I
invested so much in
remember.
her. You remember that story?
Yes, I
Remember
remember.
the parents said to this woman that if you try to marry him, he will curse you.
You
Like
curse you.
like
So
Yes.
so many things going on.
blackmail you.
How about the parent blackmailed her? What
Yeah.
about the parent even promised her that if you marry this guy, we're gonna make sure the rich man kill him? So
So
many things can happen.
anyway, guys, what I'm saying is that yes, everyone is to blame because the moment she was in that marriage, she should have stayed true to that marriage or find a
I'm
way to
gonna
divorce.
say, if my parent blackmailed me, if my parent blackmailed me to put me into the marriage that I don't want to, I'm gonna do exactly. I'm gonna go to that guy and say now, even though they forced me to be here, I am not with that. I'm just trying to save my life because if I don't go there, my parent can either kill me or kill you because I'm here to protect your life. Because if I decide to be with you, either you or me are not going to be alive. Even maybe you're going to be there or me going to be there. So this is what we're going to do, you, my boyfriend. Then they have blackmailed me and blackmail you. And then if I know that if I refuse to marry this guy, either they're going to kill you and I'm not going to never see you again. So that I will not have no choice to go to the rich man because you're already dead. This is what I'm going to do. When I'm going to be there, we'll be having our children together. Finish.
So
So
I mean, Miss
I'm
Alice,
saying that
Miss Alice, you
if
made it
all,
clear.
no, if
You will
all
do the
the if
same.
all the if all the women out there were doing the same thing that this girl do, I'm telling you, it's not, no parent will never blackmail their children trying to put the curse on them because they are trying to force them to be on the situation where they don't want to be. And they know how to open their mouth and say, if you don't do it, I'm gonna curse you. This is a boundary. You don't cross this line. No.
Miss
That's gonna
Alice,
be when I'm gonna deal with you. I'm gonna deal with you with silence. You will
Miss
realize that I'm dealing with you when a lot of time have gone so far. You're not gonna
Miss
even be
Miss
able to fix the
Alice
mess.
is Miss Alice is very passionate, and I understand. Miss Alice is very passionate about this. So anyway, we're gonna have to move on. It's almost time to wrap it up over here.
Yes,
So I
ma'am.
mean, in my book, everyone is to be blamed. Now let's get back. Like the last thing that I want us to kind of touch here, because someone brought this letter. We want more letters to come in. You yourself watching today, if you are going through something that you would like for us to talk about without calling your name, you know how to get in touch with me. Send in your letter and we will come here, we'll discuss it so that you can have like different perspective on the matter, right? The last thing that I want us to do is to give to this guy one or two practical advices, because after everything is said and done, let's not forget that there is a child suffering because of the sin of her parents. A child is having to pay for it. And this guy wants to know what to do. So I'm going to go around again and all of us going to tell him one or two things that he can do, hopefully, to solve this issue. So I'm going to go back to you, Miss Sibi. What would you tell him?
Coach Michel.
Yeah.
Coach Michel.
Yes.
I think this guy should just confess. This guy and the lady. I think that's the solution to all this. They should just swallow their pride and confess, and maybe they can save the girl. You know, I don't really know if this story is from Africa. I don't really know, but
It's from Africa.
from Africa. Okay. You know, in in my state here, there's a story not like this actually. This woman is married and she was sleeping with her husband's boy. Husband's boy was sleeping with her husband's. Nobody knows about it until she fell sick. I know most people would say that it's a lie and stuff like that. These things they happen. She fell sick and they were carrying her up and down to take it to treat her. No hospital could treat her. Never. This thing happened it was last week. Last week, no hospital could treat her until they went to traditional native. Then to the village and they met this old woman, and she told them that this woman should confess that she did something and their ancestors is pursuing her to do something. So she was adamant before to confess. That she confessed that she did it. She committed adultery with her husband's boy, and the husband did not know about it. So she said that they were pursuing her and she must die. She died. The lady died. And they are still looking for the husband's boy till today. They've not seen it. So these things, I feel if these people can confess, this thing is already done. It's done. What will happen is just the man will just divorce the girl, and I think they can come back together. They love themselves. They can ask God for forgiveness, and God will forgive them, and the child might live again. The child might be well again. We think things we see. I want to say that maybe this boy made this vow when he was young, when he didn't know about anything. This vow with his grandmother about his first daughter. I think he was young and didn't know what he was saying. Things we say matters a lot. There are spirits around us that are picking these things. That's why it's always good we are positive about ourselves each time we are speaking. So I think it's only God that can deliver this girl. I think this is a spiritual matter. So they should confess, first of all, acknowledge their guilt, their faults, their sinfulness, and ask God for forgiveness. And from there, I think this girl will be well again. Because this girl is or let's say she doesn't know what is happening. She doesn't know. It's not her father that knows about it. So she's free from it. So you just confess. That's it, man. That's it.
All right, thank you. Luke said they have to confess, and who knows, this could save this little girl's life. Miss Sibi, let us hear from you. One or two things. What should he do?
Okay. I know a little bit about Delta tradition, and that's where Luke is from. So I am with Brother Luke 100%.
Okay.
Let them confess, and everything will be fine by God's grace.
Okay, yeah. Amen to that. What about you, Miss Alice? Are you okay with this?
Yeah, now that the child is involved and this problem is coming on, if they both, like a woman and the guy, they know what is exactly going on to that child, like I was saying on the beginning, they're not gonna be continuing to hide what is going on with the child. They need to sit down as a family. She can even invite anyway, the guy not even supposed to be there because they can even kill him. The lady gonna be the one to confess, like put both of his parents, her family down, and the guy family and whatever it is, and the guy himself. And then she opened her mouth and explained exactly what is going on to the child according to what is going on. So she confessed like that now. And then from there now, they will know what to do. If the rich man say, okay, since you are cheated on me, I don't want you anymore, you could go stay with your rich guy, because most of the time, these men, they don't like when they can cheat on the woman, but the woman cannot cheat on them. Maybe that's going to be the glory of God that finally she will find the love for her life. We don't know. So maybe at this point now, the guy, the rich man maybe will decide for the parent that I don't want your child anymore because she cheated on me, all the children are not mine. And then he decides for the parent to return his bride price so that they can solve the whatever is going on with the child. That would depend on how the rich guy going to take it. But right now, if the rich guy take it so hard because he have paid the bride price, because in Africa they say the children belong to who's have paid the bride price. That's what they said. Me, I don't know. They say in Africa that the children belongs to who are paid the bride price. Now, what I'm saying is that maybe the rich man will be so angry because mine, they can have 50 wives, but the woman does not have a right to say hello to a man that is passing on the street. So maybe at that point, they can save the life of the children and maybe even go back to that love that they always wish to be. But the first thing they had to do is to say the truth. The lady had to convoke the meeting and tell them exactly what is going on with the child so that they can save the child life.
Thank you. All right, thank you. So I agree with everyone here. I 100% agree. It's time to speak the truth because the child, the life of a child is at stake over here. This child has to live. And it's time for you guys to swallow your pride, like Brother Luke said, and say the truth. So I would say to this guy that tell the woman in question, because she is like in the center. She's in the center. She's in the center of all of these things. So tell her to, I don't know if she has like a spiritual leader. Like, I don't know if her family has like a spiritual leader, like someone that her parents listen to, someone that she herself is submitted under the anointing. And even maybe her husband, like the rich man, maybe also will listen to. Go to that person first and confess and be like, hey, I need to get this out of my chest. Say the truth. Say the whole story. And then after that, go to your parents. Take that person with you and go together to your parents and sit down and have that meeting and say and tell them what is going on. And then from there, you guys will know how to break the news to your husband. You don't want to be the one to break the news to your husband when it's only the two of you, because we don't know what he can do. We do not know. So you go to that influential man that your whole family listen to, and then with his help, go to your parents and talk to them, and together break the news to the rich man, and hopefully it will let you go, because that's what you have always wanted. Hopefully it will let you go. Talk about the arrangement on how you guys can make that happen, and so that you can rebuild your life, maybe with your maybe with your boyfriend, and I don't know, so that you can start afresh and hopefully help this little child who desperately needs help. So guys, this is all for today. But before we call it a day, do we have any important comments in the comments that we want to kind of like address before leaving? Look. Do we have any comment, or should we just call it a day?
I'm trying to look at the comments.
Okay.
No. CB, can you send a comment there? I'm trying to scroll through it.
Okay, you don't. Let me see. Maybe on my phone here.
Yes, I see the comment section, and then let me start with
If you don't have any, that's fine. We have. I'd like us to usually be like between 90 minutes. So we have gone over time today. So if there's no like comment, that's fine. We can just wrap it.
Juliet says confession is the way forward. That's an old comment. Look, that's not.
I mean, she's agreeing with what I said. Okay.
Yes, and then Mercy is also saying yes, confession is very important. So everybody is agreeing that confession is important.
I see a comment from Chinko. She said that if you marry a woman who loves you, men, please go do Thanksgiving because you have won the lottery, right? The Bible says that he who finds a woman finds a good thing. It's such a blessing.
So that rich man did not find no woman. He didn't find a woman. He just took somebody else's woman. I will say it again.
Yes, ma'am. All right, we're not going to go back to that. We heard you, and thank you so much for your contribution today, Miss Alice. And we hope to have more of you. We really miss Miss Elise. We'll check on her to see what's happening. I hope she's okay and that her family as well is doing well. So, y'all check on Miss Elise. You have her Facebook, write to her, and those who have her WhatsApp, check on her, please. I will do the same. So, guys, thank you so much. I really hope that we. What was that?
I think we have some new members here, some new people. They came in today. Someone like Clementine, Emeka. Someone like Christian, Capatua.
Clementine is no other person than my beloved mother. Mother, thank you for being here. I love you.
Whoa. Hi, Mama. Welcome.
Welcome.
So who else is here? Who else is new here so we can acknowledge the person?
I'm seeing someone like Christian Capatua. I don't know that. I can't pronounce that.
Okay. Hi, Christian. Thank you so much for being here. We meet here every Sunday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if this is the first time for you, we are so glad. We are thrilled that you are here. Please do not leave without subscribing and turning the notification on so that next time when we come live, so that you can come and join the conversation. Guys, we are talking about the things that we are going through every day. So this is our moment. We come, we look at it, we talk about it, and I promise you that you will draw a lot of values out of it. So thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. Anyone else that we need to acknowledge?
This one was a stop story. This story was very stop.
It was. All right, guys. So if my friends in the comment section, who was that? Okay.
Otako is your pastor, right?
Yeah, Atako as well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, guys. Thank you to Chinkle. Thank you for Julia. Thank you for Netizen Global. Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Comfort. I don't know who else was here, but all of you guys in the comments. Sanusi, the one and only Sanusi. I'm so grateful. You guys are my real star. And it's because of y'all that I keep showing up here every Sunday, because I know you will be there. Guys, I so love you. I will see you next Sunday with another letter from the heart, and love or life under the spotlight. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye. And Miss Alice, Miss Alice, every time you're up, you know what to do. We love you.
Across the borders, across the sea, different worlds, one destiny. From the heart, not fantasy. This is love and clarity. Across cultures, across the pain, we choose truth over temporary flame. If it's real, it will remain. Love across borders, say the name. I've seen tears fall in foreign calls, late night prayers in airport halls. I've heard women question their worth, and men afraid to love out loud. First, I don't sell dreams, I shine a light on healed love, grown love, conscious sight. If you're ready, come sit with me. This table's built for honesty. Is it intentional? Is it honest? Is it healthy? Then let's talk about it. Can it last? Can you handle truth? Can you love right? Then welcome to the room.